Hello everyone, this is Jasmine, aka Gladiatorinsweats, and I'm here with the daily tarot message for July the 27th, 2018. So happy Friday everyone, happy full moon, and it's the day of the full lunar eclipse. So I know everyone's been anticipating this or maybe feeling even a little bit of anxiety surrounding this, but honestly, I honestly feel pretty good about today. I I was just in really high spirits even all like last night. I just couldn't even really sleep. I was just really feeling great, just feeling very inspired and feeling just ready for the future, ready for the looking forward. Just getting straight into this reading here. We have mostly major arcana cards on the field, so just right off the bat, this is, major energy. This is major themes at play. And I mean, I feel we probably have already known this with it being this full lunar eclipse. But I mean, I'm sure if you've also just been seeing all of the info surrounding this eclipse about it being conjunct Mars and the South Node and it being full on about us actually having to face our karma and face things that have been holding us back. And not just that, but us really having to actually make changes in our life. These changes that will dramatically affect our lives, but the changes that will ultimately serve us, in the highest good. But here in the center with this high priestess, definitely feel that we're tapping into this lunar energy. We're tapping into this feminine, this psychic energy, and not just that, but I feel this is definitely about us being able to not just see past the veil, but the veil being dropped, of there being no veil, of there being even the way that I feel her feet are like on top of this moon. I feel like it's really like her energy is like rooted in her emotions. It's rooted in the intuitive realm. And so I also just feel that here it's about us maybe disconnecting so much from the physical and kind of connecting to this spiritual, to this very feminine, this creative energy here. But I also feel this is there's this balance, there's this not just that, but both here in the Justice and the High Priestess, what I noticed is they both have sort of like an emblem or something here crossing their heart, or what I would feel is representative of crossing their heart. And so here with this cross in the High Priestess, I kind of see this really as this being about spirit, about being matter with spirit. And then here at the Justice, even it's nothing particular, I don't believe, but it's just red, and white and red has been coming up very prevalently together. Even if you look at this Ace of Swords, where it has this rose, or has two roses, has a white and a red one. And I kind of see this as the root and the crown chakra, because that energy has been coming through highly. I feel as there's this like kundalini rising aspect, even the way that we've had temperance come up, and there's this like illumination and enlightenment that's received. And so I feel it's a representative here, even with the crown on this Ace of Swords, this like crown of enlightenment, this golden halo, if you will. This Hermit card, though, to the right, I feel this is really talking about us using this time to really go within, using it to our advantage, to be able to use this time to, this has been coming up a lot lately about us really focusing inward, of us bringing our attention inward, of us finding our answers from within. But I also feel this is us being guided by our intuition, as I said before with this High Priestess, being guided by our inner light and by our inner flame, being able to go within. And I feel here it's like if we've done the work, then what's in the shadows and what's in the quote unquote darkness shouldn't be too scary or be too much of a shock, I guess, is kind of the feel that I even get here. Is, with this being like the advantage card, I see it twofold, with it being, an encouraging card for us to go within to seek these answers that are being given to us at this time. But again, I also feel like this is also about, those that are doing the work or have been doing the work. There's already a comfort, I feel, with the darkness. And so if there isn't a comfort with our darkness or with our shadows, then that's a part that kind of has to be understood or accepted in this process of using our emotional body to be able to understand the supposed negative emotions, being able to really look at these emotions as, like directions on a compass, ultimately, just to help you so you know which direction to go, so that you're able to know even what direction to go within, even in yourself, of what work needs to be done. I also feel here it's already pretty obvious with Mars at Aquarius. There's a lot of this Martian, there's a lot of this Aquarian energy, but I didn't really get to talk about it too much yesterday, but with it being this new galactic year and it being the year of this red cosmic moon, which carries the archetype of the cosmic healer, carries this energy of that, the Aquarian vibe of connection to source, of, heal, of universal water, of healing. Like, that's what comes to my mind. And so I also feel that, obviously that'll be felt with this entire eclipse kind of period, but I feel also today that that's also coming through with us receiving clarity, with us receiving maybe answers that we've been seeking for a while. Not just that, but with this Four of Cups here, though, in this supposed challenge, I feel with all of this great energy, to be honest, with this High Priestess, this Hermit card here in this row, but then in the column we have, Wheel of Fortune with Justice. And ultimately, I feel like this is good, or at least it's good for the highest good. But I feel the only struggle really is whether we accept or not, whether we decide to stay with what seems stable and what we're used to, or do we drink from the cup of love? Do we embrace it wholeheartedly? Do we drink the wine and get drunk with love? That's what comes to mind when I see this cup. And even when you look in this Wheel of Fortune, the couple, they're drinking merrily with no concern of what's going on, either with this person that's falling off, and even with the divine hand, with the divine guidance and intervention and support that's here. There's this almost happy-go-lucky, almost just, I'm just happy to be here for the ride kind of vibe here. And so I do feel like good news is that we have been knowing what we truly desire this whole time. And we know, or we are learning what's pure in our hearts, so that we can help to understand, or it will help to teach us and show us what's real and what's not, what's, an illusion, what's really, all this. And even when I talk, or I'll say myself, when I talk about illusions, illusions are a necessary part of the experience. So it's not necessarily about illusions being about inherently maliciously deceptive. But I feel it's really about what's real for you and what's not. Because what's real for one person it's just truthfully not real for another person. We all are experiencing different things on different, wavelengths. We're all on these different paths at that. And so even though we are all connected, and I feel that that's what this Mars with this South Node in Aquarius is really pulling us, pulling us into noticing is how everything is connected, how even our actions impact what happens to us, or how things fall into place, or how things interact, how everything's almost like this domino effect, or this I feel like there's a better term for it, but I feel like the point is understood of this connectedness, but then still needing to understand, like, even though we're all connected and we're all one, and we all are ultimately here going through pretty much the same kind of things, we all still have our own unique experiences and perspectives and expressions. And so that needs to also be honored. That needs to be not necessarily just cherished, but it needs to be honored. It needs to be appreciated, because that's what separates us. That's what the whole point of this experience is for, so that we're able to experience our own kind of unique flavor on this experience. But all that aside, to get back to the card, I really do feel here, even the way that he's like hiding in the bushes almost, but not just that. I feel he's had these cups for a while. I feel the way that they're just sitting in these leaves, it just seems like they've been there for a while. And so it's like, the divine saying, would you like something new? Would you like to try something new? Would you like to switch it up? And ultimately, I do feel that we do switch it up. And if anything, we do want to. This Wheel of Fortune here is this change, this divine change of direction in life. And not just that, but with this not judgment, but justice atop. This definitely feels like what is sown is what is reaped. We do have this Nine of Pentacles in reverse as our oracle card also, and so I feel like that's like an extra confirmation of there's this spiritual harvest. I feel here there's this spiritual illumination where there is this opportunity of being able to break karmic cycles, of being able to make new choices. I feel here with this Wheel of Fortune and the Justice, it's about making choices that will change the course of our lives, that will make, it's like, so you say, and so you desire, and so it will be. That's kind of how I feel with this Justice card. And even with this Ace of Swords, I can't forget about it, with that, even feeling it with this Justice, like the Ace of Swords being wielded by Lady Justice, of truth, of fairness, of equality, of clarity. The first thing that did come to my mind, though, when I did see the Justice card was of like Ma'at energy. So if that resonates with anyone, or that's like a deity or a goddess that anyone wants to work with or works with, like I definitely feel that the divine feminine energy is definitely like in the building. We have Justice and this High Priestess energy. There's this not just emotional, but just this higher frequency that's coming through, and I feel really changing things up. I really do see this like a divine intervention, like a divine judge of truth and harmony, of what's really best for the good of everyone. Getting to this oracle card lastly, like I said, we did pull this material harvest card in reverse, the Nine of Pentacles, and so actually feel this with universe at the bottom. I feel like this is illumination and higher clarity or higher understanding. Again, what is sown is reaped here. I feel those in integrity will be rich in mind and heart, and that's how we will physically manifest, because everything starts in the mind, all is mental. And so I feel as we do receive this sort of spiritual clarity, or even maybe just clarity of what really matters, a clarity of what is really truly valuable. We start to move into that energy of really trusting our heart, of really trusting how we feel about things and what feels right for us. There is no absolute right or wrong. It's about finding what's right for you. What's your truth? What is your personal belief? And what is your personal reality? Ultimately, with the universe at the bottom, there is this divine, there's this completion of a cycle here. There's this divine order that is shifting things rapidly, I feel, through like this Virgo to Libra energy. We do have the 9, the 10, and 11 with the Hermit, the Wheel of Fortune, and Justice. So I do feel like there's this, it's like, people have been mentioning it, like a quantum leap. It's like within this 2-week period, we really get an opportunity to clear up stuff from ages ago. We get to do and clear up work that would take forever. We've been doing this work, for forever already, right? But I really do feel like this is really giving us the opportunity to face things head on, so that you're able to really just get it, not just get it done, but it's able to be dealt with for good. Like, it just feels like final boss mode. Like when things feel at its most intense, where it feels like you really have to use, like in a video game, like the boss mode. The whole point of the boss mode is like you have to use like all of the skills and all of the equipment and all of the everything that you acquired over the whole journey, right? And so that's also what I feel is about as we enter this like boss level, if you will, that we have to be, we're tested. Like, all right, so throughout, this time, you've been able to pick up tools to better learn to balance your energy. You've been able to do this, that, and the other to better recognize, what works for you and what doesn't. And so it's like, this is the test for us to use those tools, for us to use the discernment, for us to use this spiritual knowledge that we've been acquiring, and just the knowledge that's acquired also just through regular experience. And so I don't even ultimately think that it's like a test. I feel if anything, it's meant for us so that we're able to use this and be like, maybe even a year from now, maybe even 6 months from now, I would have not been able to handle this situation at all, let alone handle it in a healthy way. But, I feel with this eclipse coming through, people will have the courage, will have I don't necessarily think there'll be a lack of fear for everyone. I feel there'll be less fear, but I feel it's just our hearts will be much bigger, and our love for ourselves and love for, creating happiness and love in our life will just be stronger than any fears that we do currently have. So, yeah, I really think that that's it. I guess I'll just talk a little bit about the transits today, which I'll probably talk a little bit more when I upload this eclipse video. To be honest, I feel like there's so much good material out there already on the eclipse. I kind of am going to focus my video on giving the reading and giving any messages that need to be received. I'll talk a little bit about it, of course, but maybe I'll just go ahead and even link some people that I know have done like great material on this. As I've mentioned before, if you even go to my YouTube like channel, like the main channel page to the right, you should be able to see some of like the featured channels. Those are some people that I would recommend paying attention to for some similar information, or people that do this astrology kind of work, and I definitely trust them. So otherwise, I do plan on putting out a video, or mostly, like I said, readings and messages on that. Considering doing readings for the signs, but we're just kind of have to see how that pans out. But yeah, this energy is just, it feels so highly Uranian. I feel like it's picked up, since a couple days ago, since Uranus officially began essentially T-squaring, really, the sun and the Mars. It's pretty much right there in the center, squaring them both. And so I definitely see it as this apex point of change, of opportunity for growth, where there's so much pressure on both of these sides, and fixed signs at that. We've got the sun in Leo, and then we have Mars in Aquarius. Both of these very fixed, very, I don't want to just say stubborn, but it's very fixed. It's very hard to really change. But we have this major game changer, Uranus. That's his middle name. This radical, transformational, quantum energy, able to really bring dramatic, impressive shifts in a crazy amount of time. And I know we'll have Uranus going retrograde pretty soon as well. So that will be interesting to talk about. So yeah, Uranus and Taurus right here at this apex. I feel like whatever change that we have felt that needs to take place, I feel like now is the time. Like, if you do want to look at your natal chart, I would definitely take a look at, of course, where Leo and Aquarius is, where this eclipse is taking place, but also taking a look at where Uranus is in your chart, because this apex point, I really feel like this is an important, like, jumping off point. It's an important, like, it's really the tool. It's really the key to this opposition. It's the key that is so just like synchronistically given to us, honestly. The way that this transit is just like perfectly panned out, or just the way that things are aspecting each other. This Uranus and Taurus, it is this golden opportunity to create the change that you want, with the universe fully backing you and supporting you, if that's where your intent and your desire lies. So, excuse me so much. My voice is a little bit in and out there. So I guess I will end it here. Thank you so much for tuning in. As I said, do check out any of the past content, as well as, excuse me, stay tuned for, wow, for the eclipse reading. Yeah, my voice is all over the place. So I'll go and talk a little bit more about the galactic signature. Then I'll talk about it a little bit right now, I guess. It is the energy of the white magnetic dog. I don't want to get into it too much because, like I said, I really kind of want to talk about that actually more so with the eclipse. But there's this definite like heart chakra energy, this opening of the heart. There's this unifying of the higher mind and of like the lower chakras here, I feel. And the heart chakra is this center, and I feel like this is all being processed here at the center, where our hearts are being opened, but also purified and also just cleansed in the middle of this grand storm, if you will. But it's really like, I just really see it as like a pressure car wash. Excuse me. Like it's definitely can feel intense and feels like we're being tossed around all over the place. But I feel like when it spits us out, we're going to come out greater than ever. So yeah, I hope you all have an amazing day. I send you all my love and I wish you all many blessings. And I hope that everyone really truly enjoys their Friday. And I really hope that everyone is able to receive the change and work with this change in the way that is best for them. I mean, not even just that I feel, but I know that we've been struggling for so long. And even for those of us that have been like on the spiritual path as of late, where we've just been feeling these like hyperdrives this year, where it's like we're just getting like these updates and these like upgrades like super fast, and it's almost just like I don't even know who I am from who I was 6 months ago. Like, life is so different. Life is changing so fast. But definitely embrace it. Definitely just ride the wave and know always that the universe is always conspiring to support you, to create the change that you desire, the things that your heart truly wants. And so really the answer here is to listen to what your heart wants and not to ignore it any longer, because it's got a voice and it's got power and it's going to speak up. So yeah, until next time, I will talk to you guys then. Bye.